She was born in the Somalia desert in a nomadic family. When she was a child, she didn't have even a pair of shoes because her parents were so poor. At the age of 13, they wanted to marry her off to an old man who promised 5 camels. But a different fate awaited her. Waris Dirie became a top model and the United Nations ambassador. How did a poor Somali girl completely change her life? And why do people all over the world today admire her? Let's talk about it. This is Wow Channel. Waris Dirie is a well-known writer, fashion model and human rights activist. She posed for Elle, Glamour and Vogue magazines. She walked the runway in Paris, Milan, London, New York. Today she defends women's rights.
I've been fighting female genital mutilation for 12 years, and the problem is still here worldwide.
She has achieved a great success. Many years ago it was so hard to imagine that. Waris spent her childhood in the Somalia desert. The family had to fight for life in hard conditions. Her mother gave birth to 12 children, but only 6 of them survived. Waris was among them. She still doesn't know the exact date of her birth because no one registered such information there. At the age of 5, her mother gave her a female circumcision. Waris still remembers this terrible pain. Fortunately, she was still alive. After this terrible procedure, many girls die because of pain shock and some die later during childbirth.
Every 11 seconds, a little girl is mutilated somewhere in the world.
When Waris was 13, her parents realized that they could not longer supporting for her and decided to marry her off. Her father organized a wedding with a 60-year-old man. The groom promised him 5 camels. The deal seems very successful, but Waris didn't wish such life. Since childhood she was very rebellious. On the eve of the wedding, the girl decided to escape to the relatives in Mogadishu. For several days she wandered barefoot in the desert. It was so dangerous journey because wild beasts could injure her. However, she achieved the goal. She still remembers those days because of terrible scars on her legs. For some time, Waris worked at her aunt's house, and when she was 14, an influential relative took her with him to London to work in his wife's house. The girl had only a fake passport and a single pair of shoes. For 4 years, she served in the house of her uncle, the ambassador of Somalia in London. And when the relatives went home, she decided to stay. Young girl went to English course and got a job as a cleaner in a fast food restaurant. And one day something happened that completely changed her life. A famous photographer noticed tall and beautiful African woman and invited her to shoot. So she started a career and became a model. In the late 80s, Waris became a real star. She starred for Chanel, Levi's, L'Oreal, Revlon commercials. Sometimes she had problems with the law. One day, immigration service wanted to deport her to her homeland because of an expired passport, but she couldn't go back to the place where the war was going on, and a woman doesn't have any rights. That's why she had to enter into a fake marriage. In the 90s came the peak of her career. Once, in an interview with Marie Claire magazine, she openly told about a female circumcision procedure.
The crime of female genital mutilation is so big.
And later she described this case in her autobiographical book, based on which the film Desert Flower was shot.
When I was a child, I said I do not want to be a woman.
Her story excited whole Western world. Waris became an ambassador of the United Nations. Since then, she has been defending women's rights.
What choice? Where is women safe? Where in the world is she safe?
When she became influential and famous, she went to Somalia to see her mother. They met again almost 20 years later. Waris forgave her mother for everything. She understands perfectly well that only uneducated people do these barbaric procedures. Now the model is helping to build new schools and hospitals in Somalia. She wants women in Africa to become independent and smart. Then they will not mutilate their daughters and marry them off for money. Waris Dirie is 56 years old now. She hasn't been shooted for magazines for a long time. She became a wife and mother. She has 2 native children and 2 adopted ones. Now her life is wonderful, but she still remembers the trauma of the past. She helps other girls so that they don't have to go through what she experienced. That's why people all over the world admired her. So what do you think about Waris Dirie? Please don't forget to share your thoughts with me. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a like, comment and subscribe.